everybody, Matt back here with you. Once again, welcome back to Mob on TV. Again, the guitar teaching series by me. This is episode number 9. We're still down south with Stevie Ray Vaughan. Here we go. Okay, the first lick that we're going to do today is in the A minor pentatonic. Now, normally Stevie would tune down a half step. So did Jimi Hendrix, and of course so did Eddie Van Halen. It was a pretty common thing back then, I believe, because it was a little bit easier for them to sing the songs. Also took some of the tension off the strings. And as we know, Stevie Ray Vaughan used pretty heavy strings, 12 to 58 from what I heard, 12 to 56, and then 13 to 58. I believe the 12s were during the time when his fingers were sore. Gee, I wonder why. So 13 to 58. So a half step lower would take some of the tension off the strings. But we're going to stay in standard tuning like all my other videos, so A440. So the first lick that we're going to be using, showing you, is in the A minor pentatonic. Again, I'll play the scale for you. And the first particular riff that we're going to do is utilizing what's called double stops. This is pretty common in Cold Shot. He did it in a lot of songs, but definitely in that song. So in the Cold Shot, he's actually using the flatted 5th note on the G string. So let me replay that scale for you, adding the flatted 5th. It will be on the A string and the G string. Flat 5. Flat 5. So the cool part about these double stops is that it really incorporates, again, the hybrid picking method of the right hand, using the pick and the middle finger simultaneously. So how this lick goes, I'll play it for you. So I'm utilizing, when I get to the G string notes, I'm borrowing from the G string, the B string, and the E string, so I can pick the G string and pluck the E string together simultaneously. The other cool part about the hybrid picking method is that it enables you to play 2 notes simultaneously, as opposed to strumming 2 notes. Well, when you do that, you're hearing one note a split second before the other note. But when we use the hybrid picking method, they're both at the same time. Much like that of a piano player would be playing notes at the same time. So us as guitar players can mimic that. So again, so 7th fret, our root of A, to the 5th fret G with the with the 5th fret E. Staying still with the 5th fret E, but adding the 7th fret G. So that would be a good thing just to work on, just that small part. So 1 root note, single note, 2 notes together with the hybrid picking, 2 notes together with the hybrid picking. Once you get comfortable with that, we're going to take this note and slide it up to the flatted 5th note, but keeping this in place, which is going to feel a little uncomfortable at first, getting that 3rd finger to cooperate. Still keeping this in place because we need that E string, the A note on the E string on the bottom. Then we're going to come back down, and you can just work your way back down to the root. So we're coming up from the root, back down to the root. Or you can make it a little fancier, which I think I did in the first part, first demonstration of this riff. So using a hammer-on, but still plucking. Make it a little bit closer on my right hand here too. that's our first riff. Okay, the second riff that Stevie did, we're going to stay in the same key. This is the use of the minor pentatonic. Again, more of that Chuck Berry intro. Stevie had a few different versions of this lick in the way that it resolves. But the idea of it that you want to get out of this lick is the first part. Where you decide to go from there is really up to you. But you could do... That's one version of it. You could use your pinky, you could switch it to the third finger like Stevie used to do it. So let's stick with that one for now just to have something solid, because I did play it a little bit differently as I started to show you this. So let's slow this one down and I'll show you how it goes. So 7th fret G string, bend, whole step. B string, 5th fret, E string, 5th fret, 8th fret B, bend, whole step. 5th fret E, back to the B string, 8th fret, 5th fret. Now here's going to be the 2 pull-off series on the E string, 8 to 5 and then 7 to 5. Now 8 to 5 on the B. Then we go back to the Chuck Berry riff. 8th fret whole step bend, 5th fret E, 8th fret to 5th fret pull off B, to back to the G, bend release, 5th fret, back to the 7th fret D root with vibrato. I'll do it real slow again. Super cool lick. One more time, a little faster. Different fingering. Now let's put the two together and give a slightly different ending. We're going to dive back into what Billy Gibbons talked about, the 1 on the 1. So we're going to do this right into lick number 2. And instead of going, we're going to go that ending. You're going to notice that was the same thing from episode number 1 of my rendition of that Hendrix lick. Again, if you missed any of the previous parts, they're all on YouTube. Mob on TV is the channel. Become a subscriber. You'll be up to date on all the upcoming videos. So, one more time. It's a slightly different outcome at the ending. I'm still getting back to the root note, just in a different position. A different position root note's going to have a slightly different tone. Slide up the B, to the E, back to the B, vibrato. Together. Oops, I screwed up. faster. And that's all the time we have for today. Again, thank you to Stevie Ray Vaughan for all he shared with us and all the music that he left for us to continue to keep enjoying, keeping his memory alive. One of the greatest living blues guitar players that ever walked the face of the planet. So, we have one more episode coming up. Don't forget, I do teach privately. Message me anytime to my email, and I'd be happy to help you out. The last episode is going to be taking a trip out of Texas to Los Angeles to visit Eddie Van Halen. We'll see you then. Stay tuned.